preparing to live stream the meeting.
We got it.
Yay.
We are now live on YouTube.
Unbelievable. No way, really?
Really?
Ha!
It's fun, isn't it?
Hey, new platform, baby. Live all the way.
Holy crap, there we are. Hi, everybody. How are you? Thanks for joining us this evening.
I'm Michael Moyer.
What's that?
Something wrong here. I got to turn down the volume somewhere because I'm having an echo. There's a little lag.
Yes, there is.
So I just muted my computer volume. So this is working?
This is working.
You can hear me?
We're working.
All right.
I don't know if I can hear it on this one, though.
Well, I'm going to volume. So
yes, it's working very well.
This is working. You can hear me.
We're working.
All right.
I don't know if I can hear it on this one, though.
Well, I can hear that. So
Yep.
Obviously, so there is a little lag. Okay. The way I have the settings and everything, it shouldn't be too much of a delay, but it's kind of like being in the green room when we were on with Dixie Cryptid, same type of thing. So it's probably like that 7-second delay. And I guess that gives us the opportunity to bleep out anything. If we say anything, we don't want anybody to hear, we can bleep it. So it's exciting, I guess. I mean, it's not exactly how I wanted it to be.
Do you have your finger on the bleep button?
I have my finger on the pulse right here. Okay.
All right.
It's, as I was saying, it's not exactly how I envisioned this one to be because I have a new streaming, what do they call it? A
Platform.
platform. It's actually oh crap, I can't think of the terminology, all this modern technology. It's a encoder. Thank you. It's an encoder.
You're welcome.
But once that is figured out, okay, then we're going to look a little more professional because we'll have some other graphics and some other images and have the ability to play the audio right into our, into our program. So it's kind of strange. Like I don't even want to look at the screen because I'm watching myself talk, 7 seconds after I've said it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop doing the hands. That's one thing I'm going to stop doing right now. But hey, we figured since our guest, Dr. Jones, was unable to join us on Wednesday for our normal recording session,
Yes.
that instead of just putting out the old no program this week memo, we figured we would try this and see if we could jump on YouTube Live and make that happen. And voila.
Voila, which is French for look at that shit.
It is pretty much.
That's right.
Well, YouTube finds you $100 every time you curse.
Ah, shit.
It's okay. I checked the box that said it's not made for kids, so we're good.
Oh, there you go.
No fine. But how's everybody doing?
Doing good. I was excited to get, we had Russ had to cancel out on us. I guess he had some internet problems. So, that would be Dr. Russ Jones. And he, I'm looking forward to it. He's got a really interesting book. He's put out some really interesting information that I can relate to probably a good portion of it. And I'm really looking forward to getting him on the show and chatting with us. So, I'm totally psyched about that. So
I'm excited to get to share with people because I've known him for quite a few years. He was the first organizer I went Bigfooting with. And so I got to squatch with him. I've got to talk with him and sit and really talk with him. And for everybody else to get that opportunity is going to be pretty great because he's an awesome guy. He is just so intelligent and he knows so much about the subject. It's fascinating. It really is.
Yeah.
And I've thoroughly enjoyed reading his book. I've actually gone through it almost twice now to brush up on things. And I've already started to incorporate some of the things that I've learned from it, some of the more scientific approaches that he mentions. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking with him as well. I don't want to give too much away, but we've got him lined up hopefully for next week's show, as long as the weather gods cooperate. It was like another, another tornado. Okay. So yeah, it was a similar situation to what we had happen with Dixie Cryptid and Matt Moneymaker when he was supposed to join us. So yes, I see we have some people signing in here, which is great. Yeah. Hey, Greg, welcome to the show. But then we have a nice lineup also with some other guests slated and also some other exciting events planned for the future where we're going to get out there ourselves and do some filming, right? And watching Hellier, picking up some tips.
Greg Newkirk posted that they just wrapped up filming of a 3-year project.
Really?
So yeah. So it's going to be a documentary, and he was excited to share the news. So
I wonder if we can that too. Wonder if we could get him on here to share the news.
Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know, Greg Newkirk, he's the one of the hosts of Hellier. One of the
and his wife Dana.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, and who else do we have lined up here? We got Ben Christensen.
Ben Christian. Yeah. Okay. He was at one of my expeditions and did quite a presentation. You were out for more of it than I was, Eric. Do you remember much about what that was about?
With Ben?
Yeah.
Repeat the question, please. I was reading one of the comments.
Oh, sorry. I was down and out when he gave his presentation, so I didn't get to witness it.
Oh, yeah. No, that was an awesome presentation. PowerPoint up on the screen just as it got dark at the base camp. Talked about the evolution of early humans, as well as how Squatches probably evolved and alongside, right? And also got into the time variant discussion, which I then experienced the next night.
Yeah.
I was crazy. I was unbelievable. So yeah, a lot of good information, very, very well prepared. So you might even be able to talk a little bit about that. But getting back to what Brian was saying, though, with Hellier, I was watching it more in a sense of the actual production value. You know what I mean? Because I know you guys really got a lot out of the essence of what they were exploring with the cave systems and all the goblins and stuff. It's funny, that pandemic we just went through, there's actually a syndrome that's now come of that called goblin like syndrome, where people, because they were all locked down in our homes, they wouldn't get out of bed, they wouldn't shower, get dressed, you know what I mean? They basically
turned into a goblin.
They turned into Sneevil
and Snuffleupagus.
What's a Sneevil?
Lord of the Rings. I think his name is Sneevil.
Right. And Tolkien was one of the originators of that whole, goblin type mindset. And that turned into Dungeons and Dragons and other things as well. Correct?
Yeah.
So we have a listener at least right now. Somebody's watching us.
I don't think so.
There's a few people. As it says. Yeah. There's a few people. And I had actually posted on the notification on YouTube to send their questions into the email. So I guess I should actually check that and see if we have any questions.
I didn't know
that. Yeah. Also, anybody that's watching right now, if you have any questions, type it in.
I got one actually from one of our viewers, from Mike R. He's actually one of my customers, longtime viewer of our podcast and channel. He was asking about the story of the psychic Sasquatch and UFO connection, right? And he recently watched a YouTube video called How It All Began. And so he was encouraging me to check that out. And I said to him, I would, definitely get to that. at some point, just not today, I said, because of trying to prepare this podcast. So yeah, he's pretty excited after watching it. He told me he really got a lot out of it and was really excited by the information that this doctor presented, having a lot to do with the alien connection. And I said, me, I talk about being a flesh and blood guy. I'm open to other. He says, yeah, but you say you're open to other ideas. And I said, well, I am, but I draw the line at certain points.
Yeah.
I said, I used what Brian talks about, what they probably get abducted, it's just like people do, right? And as experiments, but I don't think they came originally from outer space, but I don't know that to be, a fact. And then he mentioned the mind speak, where telepathically they can communicate with people, which I've heard on a number of reports. So,
right.
Well, one of my theories is, I don't feel like they're alien, because if you look at a typical, what has been described as a shape of an alien, okay, very thin, slender, their bodies almost, scream that they've kind of grew up where there's no gravity, or if they were in areas of, where
And
dark
dark too, because they're always gray and whatnot,
Right.
Gotta have like no sun.
There's no hair. They don't fit the description of anything that we would call an alien, or what people would call an alien. So that would make me think that, I don't think a Squatch in his size would handle the whole, they just wouldn't be as muscular. They wouldn't be the shape that they are and the size that they are, and I feel like they're definitely earthbound. And if there's any conjunction with alien and Sasquatch, I think they're being studied, just
Same
like
as we are.
Yeah.
And what I've always said with them being curious creatures, right? I mean, they love checking out kids playing at the park, or campers hanging out, right? Or four-wheelers, whatever. That's where a lot of these, visual sightings occur. They would be, I always say, they'd be curious too. If a craft was flying up above, they'd come out and go, haven't seen one of those around before, and and that's when people also who see the craft might associate it with Bigfoot,
Right. There was also the what was the other aspect of the show?
The telepathic
aspects, right. What they might refer to as mind speak,
right.
Where they can communicate with you, but not necessarily in our words, but images and impressions that will make you feel like you're getting the picture, so to speak.
And that's something we've all been doing, right? We've all been trying it out and keeping an open mind. Even back on one of my earlier expeditions, I remember Nathan and I brought this up once, where Nathan and I were sitting there at a little satellite camp we made up. And I said, we were talking about Nathan. I really didn't even know each other that well at that point, just kind of getting to know each other better. And I was like, what do you think of this like mind speak stuff, So I'm into it. I'm like, well, let's give it a shot, And then he and I took a hike and felt like we were paralleled on the way out to where we were going to check out. Heard some rustling, in the woods near us. Again, just something we've been trying. Heather and I have tried it on a few occasions also, sending out good thoughts and inviting, welcoming thoughts. And on one occasion, we got growled at, and she jumped in the truck, and I went around the truck and I said, hello, how are you?
I guess that means that you weren't invited. You were you weren't what's the word I'm looking for here? So you went out, you sent out welcoming thoughts, and you didn't receive welcoming thoughts. Unless a growl in their language is welcome.
I think the growl was saying he was jealous of what he was observing. Just glad Ranger Simpkins didn't show up when, a few minutes earlier. That was the night he told me I shouldn't park on the lichen.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't liking
that
it.
Lichen. You gotta watch that lichen.
So I went back to full screen. I was going to go back and check.
Yeah, we got one question here on YouTube. Smedley Do Right. Can other animals' mind speak?
That's a good question, actually. And I would have to say that dolphins, right?
Dolphins do, yeah.
I would say dolphins have that ability. They are also a mammal. I don't know about like elephants and lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but and those are big creatures also that have.
Well, the lions and the tigers and the elephants, they
infrasound.
use the infrasound.
Mm-hmm.
We know that for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Because those elephants can communicate for miles with that stuff. I know that's not mind speak, but
no. But it's a form of communication that we can't hear, you know. So
it's true.
But humans, there's definitely documented cases where humans can achieve telepathy.
That is definitely true. I have witnessed that firsthand. It actually happened to me. I was with a group of guys. We were doing a guided meditation. We were told to get on the craft, and I heard real loud in my head, I'm not getting on the effing craft. So, and the guy across from me was thinking that at the exact same time I started giggling. So,
wow.
So that's possible.
Yeah. So if as large as they are, you have to expect that they have nice big brains, and then they probably have the ability to tap into way more than we do, as well, not just say the ability, they are naturally innate to.
They still remember how.
Yeah, they were never suppressed.
Yeah.
They were never taught to forget, how to use that, or they were never taught how to, we basically haven't been taught how to use most of, more of our brains.
Right.
So.
Good question, Smedley.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, you know what I just figured out? I can put my Zoom web, what does they call that? A window, right? Over the YouTube picture so that at least it lines up with me talking. I'll tell you, because it's a little confusing. That's why I'm hoping to get the other thing going. But and Greg also made a good point about wait a minute. Okay, no, he was talking about he had the opportunity to tune into Coast to Coast. Okay, yes. The other day, Eric Mintel was interviewed. And speaking of Eric, he's actually going to be airing his new episode of The Beast of Bray Road. I forget the full rest of the title, but something Alive and Well, I think it said. So yeah, that should be interesting. That's actually coming on tonight after we get done. So be sure to go out and go over to Eric Mintel Investigates channel on Facebook and give him a like and check out his latest film. Does a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of guest co-hosts, we can have my brother-in-law on again, Brian. We can have him on again, talk about some paranormal stuff and whatnot.
Yep.
So,
no doubt.
He's been witness to some of the pretty cool things that has happened with, along with us. So,
yeah.
And we'll be witness to more in the future as well. So he's
that's for sure.
Yep.
And my daughter Tira can come on. We're going to have her on a couple times, maybe talk about the different experiences she had, get her point of view with some of the stories I told.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to get Mr. Shepard on, hopefully. So
oh yes.
That's another one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that man has stories for days.
And
he tells them really well. I love having somebody that can really spin a yarn like he can. I wish I had that more. I had more of that ability. I'm working on it. Getting better.
The more experience you have, I mean, yep. I don't even think he can count how many experiences that he's had. He would really have to sit down and and then just to retell them in the way that he does. He's comfortable in his telling good stories. So
yeah, not only does he have his own stories, but he tells a lot of stories from other people who have, of course, contacted him with their encounters. You know what I mean? And he just is able to replay those really, really well.
Yeah. He's had some habituation type experiences. He's been a very active investigator, and he's got a great demeanor when it comes to investigating.
Yeah.
So I like to call him Papa Smurf, maybe.
I like that. Yep.
But
So we were discussing before we went live, the news broke the other day that we are doing a Pennsylvania fall expedition.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Anybody is interested.
Coerced.
It is, yes, of course, but with good reason.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
I think it'll be a lot of fun, but we're going to keep this one more limited. Okay, so you better sign up quick because we're going to cut it off after a certain number of people, and
and we're looking for newbies. We have our main team's going to be there, the three of us, obviously, and Tony and Patty are coming. So that's the investigator lineup. Then after that, we're going to work with try to get some newbies. I got 4 or 5 really good remote campsites that we're going to be at, and a pretty good lineup coming up for this one.
Well, if you've listened to our past chats about the PA expeditions, and if you haven't, go back and listen. And if you're interested, you'll get a nice taste of what occurred. So,
yep.
Well, I see some other questions had come in from my earlier attempt at doing the live stream. So, of course, Real Truth mentions how great questions and great answers, because obviously I was silent, no audio. And a couple of others also kind of made a point to let me know about that. Patty actually came on, which was great to at least have her say, I can see you at least, That was when I was doing the test run. Robert says, your tent was teabagged, should be immortalized forever in Bigfoot lore.
Where'd Brian go?
Did I knock him out?
Hey, everyone. Me and my girl.
I made it back, so he should be able to click back in without an invite. Probably got tired of listening to us. You know how he is.
Yeah.
Text him saying you shouldn't need an invite. Just click back on. All right. And again, Mike says there are a lot of earth energies in the Pine Barrens where a lot of mysterious things can happen. We definitely experienced that back in April when the three of us got together for that satellite camping experience.
Yeah. Robert Belay. I guess that's how you say that. I did get your email too, by the way, Robert. I'll get back to you soon. He asked if any of us will be attending the October Big BFRO New Jersey trip, and I don't believe I will be.
Probably not if we're going to be doing the September one,
Right.
I can't get 2 of those off in a row.
Work. Yeah.
So hey, we're just kind of touching base with everybody tonight. What we really wanted to do was make sure that we didn't not have something on,
Back away from your microphone just a little bit.
I'm too close, huh?
Yeah, you're blowing it out there.
Sorry, everybody.
There you go. That's better. Much better.
Thank you. Well, it's a Yeti. It's a Yeti Blue. It's powerful.
That's right. Well, you were up there looking in there. You were.
I was trying to read the comments at the same time, so my eyes are starting to go.
And it looks like we.
Where the heck's Brian?
I don't know. I didn't text him. I'm reading questions here. What area of PA were you going to explore? Well, we can't tell you that.
Just know that it's kind of centrally located.
Yeah. It's in the state. It's right there.
It's a good area.
Yeah. It's a good area. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It seems we've encouraged someone to go out, and they're going to go and explore Mougeot State Forest. I've been there before. It's pretty nice.
Nice area.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's nice.
Absolutely.
Good, nice. There's an ice cream shop at the bottom of the hill. Great ice cream.
I noticed on the post that Matt put on the BFRO's page, it says about how PA has had more activity than I think almost every other state in the last 15 years, you know?
Yeah, we're actually number 3 in the lower 48 for Bigfoot sightings, which is really hard to believe that we're number 3, you know, with like Oregon and California.
You would think, yeah.
You know, I just can't believe that. But that's what the news people say, and you know, we got to believe what the news people say. Where'd Brian go?
I have Brian actually on the invite for Zoom. I have him like as part of my contacts now, so I can just click his name and send him a new invite.
Oh, there you go.
For some reason, it wouldn't allow me to do that with you, so you might want to check and see if you didn't, accept it or not. But anyway, I don't want to bore everybody, but let's see if Brian comes back on so we can do a proper goodbye.
Yes.
Android Purity, what area? Okay, that's who was asking that question. So yeah, we don't disclose. I don't even give the location to the attendees until really a couple of weeks prior to the expedition actually happening, for the simple reason that we take this very seriously about not compromising our area of the base camp. For we don't want people coming on just to hoax us or to mess around with us. You know, the only one we want to mess with is Sasquatch.
That's right.
Okay. But when Nathan puts on an expedition, let me tell you, it's worth the trip. Even if it was in the farthest northwestern corner of PA, you know I would be there with him. But
I thought we weren't giving specifics.
I know.
And Tony's coming, so the cooking will be on point. When you got 2 fat guys cooking, it is always a good time to eat. And that is one of the things we do the most. I've noticed. Hold on, we got him.
He's actually adding to the question that the BFRO has very little Class A sightings in PA in the past 10 years. Well, that's because Nathan hasn't really been following up on the reports coming in. Not to throw him under the bus, but
following up on the reports and just not following up on the reports.
Right, he's not getting them published. But no, there are plenty of sightings, and Class A included.
Mm-hmm.
We, as investigators, we try to contact these people who submit them. They don't always get back to us, honestly. They don't always leave their numbers, first of all. It's quite complicated in some cases, and then, of course, the BFRO gets a bad rap. Mm-hmm. That's why we started Trace, obviously, because we want to do our own expeditions eventually, and, have our own database, too, one day. Again, not that we are looking to compete. We love the database that Matt has created.
Oh, for sure.
It's amazing. And we're proud to investigate. But there are plenty of Class A, yes. And in New Jersey as well. And like I said, I've been trying to get a hold of some witnesses so I can do the follow-up. And they're not always as quick to get back. Now, that can be for a number of reasons. People obviously fear ridicule, but often will find that speaking to one of us really does help, because it allows them to share their experience and get it off their chest without, somebody laughing in their face, and say, oh, come on,
Right.
But, so, I mean, that's typically what we experience. And, like we said earlier, when it comes to getting time off to attend multiple expeditions, 2 years ago in 2020, I was able to attend both of Brian's expeditions up in New York and one of yours. And then I did another one of yours in PA. Had my own 2 expeditions in that year as well. So
yeah, that was a lot.
So I'm very fortunate that I have my own business and I'm able to get off more frequently. And of course, Larry's great up in northern New Jersey. He's been up there with me co-hosting on a number of occasions. He basically, cut his teeth up there with me, and he knows where to go and where to bring people. And apparently they had some great success last time in April. So we're
going to have to get back up there with him.
Absolutely. Eventually.
I like getting out there with Larry. He's fun.
Yeah. And knows his stuff. So, hey, if you have an opportunity to get up there, definitely should check it out. Like I said, we're doing the PA one because fall's a great time in that area where we're going to be. And I'm looking forward to having some what's the word? Events that we had happen last time. I'd like to see some
high strangeness,
some high strangeness. Exactly.
That's what we're looking for here. Yeah. All
So
right. Well, since we lost Brian,
it seems to be a pattern going on.
Yes.
Did he kick his table? I didn't notice. But yeah, I just think we just wanted, like I said, to get ourselves in front of you guys and let you know that we will be back with our guest, Russ Jones, talking about the Appalachian Bigfoot, his latest book.
He has 2 books out.
We'll get to the other one.
Stone Man and
Appalachian Bigfoot. And it's an awesome read. So if you want to pick up a copy before next Saturday night, you might even be able to get to check it out.
Right.
And definitely worthy of the read. A lot of good stuff in that. So, hey, Nathan, you got anything else you want to add to it?
Don't forget to send out questions. SquatchTalksPodcast@gmail.com. Ask us questions, things you want us to talk about. At the end of the show like this, we'll read them, answer some questions, and just try to touch base with what you're wondering,
Absolutely. We're going to do the Q&A at the end of each segment. Hopefully you have some, viewers send in some questions. We're going to talk about other cryptids like Dogman and Mothman, Jersey Devil coming up. Got a lot of exciting things happening. Plus the fact that the weather's nice now, we're going to get together and do some filming with our new 4K cameras and all that good stuff. Get out there with the new night vision Nathan and Brian developed.
Yeah, that's I can't wait to try that ghost hunting too, because where do you see that thing's incredible. It just works so good.
I'm coming up next weekend. So
that's right. We'll line something up.
We'll get a chance to check that bad boy out.
That's right.
So, hey, in lieu of Brian getting back on, I'm sure he'd say with us to give us a like and a share and subscribe. Shameful self-promotion. But thanks for everybody for tuning in. And until next